It's used in our housing, it's used in our cars, it's used in cosmetics, it's in nylon, they even put oil in painkillers. They already have oil in our foods. Petrochemicals are actually found in food additives. I mean, yeah, let's just throw some chemicals and oil into our foods and put it in our bodies. That'll be just great for us. I mean, who cares that they put oil in food coloring and that scientifically proven food coloring leads to ADHD? I mean, it's cool, right? No, actually, it's not cool. And I'm fed up about hearing all this oil ruining our world today. Trains, trucks, and boats carry oil all over the world. And if you think there aren't mistakes that happen when carrying all this oil, you're wrong. Waterways everywhere in the world are polluted with garbage and oil runoffs. From all of the chemicals that are being drained into our water system, it's no wonder why we have so many diseases that we can't even count them all. But this isn't just affecting us, it's affecting the wildlife around us as well. Possible side effects of just being near oil or an oil spill for a long duration of time is irritation to the eyes, skin, and respiratory system. And that isn't even it. Other side effects include dizziness, rapid heart rate, headaches, and confusion. And that's just from being exposed to oil, not even ingesting it. What would happen if we did consume oil? And I'm not saying that we don't, we actually do. Nowadays, it could be so easy to ingest the liquid, because if you go to a river surrounding an oil industry, you will find an entire long and boring manual saying to only catch 1 to 2 fish, or major health problems will come your way. Because of this water, we went out and tested the water in ditches surrounding oil rigs and places that handle oil. But this just proves that by taking extra precautionary measures, such as cementing the area where the oil is stored and correctly filtering the water before putting it back into nature, we will keep our environment clean. Just like the Gibson's plant has done for years, they take into consideration everything from the smallest leaks to the biggest spills and make sure that when there is a spill, it is quickly stored into a clean container. What precautions are taken at the Gibson's plant to prevent oil spills?
Gibson's, while they're mixing their inverted oil muds for drilling purposes, uses a triple redundancy system in order to make sure no spills occur.
They even have a runoff pond where it is quickly cleaned and filtered through to a point where there is no more chemical residues left over. By cleaning our water thoroughly before putting it back into the rivers that we drink from, it would be way cleaner. Not only do we drink from these rivers, animals do too. Imagine a cute little chipmunk with chubby little cheeks sadly drinking from an infected waterway. Exactly. You don't want to imagine it because it's depressing. But sadly, that's the truth. We are letting so many of these animals drink or live in these rivers, lakes, ponds, and swamps.
Oil spills and runoffs and the accidents that happen are extremely devastating to the environment around them, and that's a terrible thing.
But chances are, someone out there is saying to themselves, I don't care about an animal that lives in the water that we drink from. First off, who couldn't resist a face like that? Second off, That fish that is living in the contaminated piece of water, that is ingesting chemicals that are harmful to us, eventually find us. In the food chain, that little fish would be eaten by a bigger fish, which would be then eaten by a bigger animal, until finally, that fish works its way up to us. We still get affected by the oil runoffs from big oil plants. Even though oil is the source of our existence, is it really worth it to ruin everything in the process?
The true devastation in this earth, on this world, comes from the everyday use of fossil fuels that include using vehicles.
If we turned our vehicles to eco-friendly cars, such as ethanol and electric-powered cars in our world, and having more solar panel and wind energy, imagine how green our world would be. But wouldn't it be amazing if we showed up those arrogant politicians that say global warming isn't happening, or to tell them that our world is literally suffocating from all of the pollution and runoffs that are happening? Prove to them that this is actually happening. That would create a huge impact in our society. If we told the people that ran our countries that they were wrong and us citizens are right, I'd say we could change anything. If we could get the politicians to realize the damage that is being done, maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't be wondering in 50 years what went wrong. And here we are taking it for granted because we can't realize the mistake we are making. We need to be respectful of the resources we have left and preserve them. And not only that, to make our world a better place by stopping all pollution, chemical runoff into our ecosystems. It only takes one person to make that leap of faith to try and solve a matter so huge younger generations to come won't have to be struggling to get a hold of the destruction we have caused. Maybe if we stopped looking for just another excuse, we could fix the problems that we have now before making a new problem for our environment. The world can be our actual playground. Just think of a world that we can breathe clean air and walk in clean cities, not see animals getting endangered and then eventually extinct. Not only would we be saving species, but the entire animal kingdom will be healthier as well. Just imagine that. It would be a whole new world. If we just stopped and looked around at the beautiful world we have today and realized that there is nothing anywhere else like it. It only takes one person, and together we can change the world.
Well, honey, you're outside and it's obvious. Get your hands on it because you think you should.